I had a request from a viewer for a comparison of the Panasonic x920 and the Canon HF-G30 in terms of their stabilisation abilities, so here is that video, starting as you can see with the Panasonic x920 with the stabilisation turned off. This is just walking through a nature reserve, and I've got both camcorders actually on a small tray, so they are sort of held together next to each other, and that is just walking with the stabilisation off. So in a moment I turn around, do the same walk but with the stabilisation on, and you can immediately see the difference. It's very smooth, possibly even a little wallowy, but certainly pleasant enough. I was sort of trying to walk steadily, but it's not that easy really when you're carrying two camcorders. But the Panasonic does a very good job, I think. The same test again then with the Canon. Stabilisation turned off, and that is completely turned off because it's got various modes, but this is all of the stabilisation turned off. I would say it is a fraction bumpier than the Panasonic, for no good reason that I can think of. And there we go, get to the end of the walk, turn around again, and this time switch its dynamic stabilisation on. And that is the one that is most suited for this fully wide zoomed walking type of shot. You've got standard stabilisation, dynamic and powered, but dynamic is the one you would normally use on this kind of shot. And it, again, quite smooth, possibly not quite as smooth as the Panasonic, but let's find out. Here they are together. Stabilisation still dynamic on the Canon, and I would say the Panasonic is doing the slightly better job. And we'll just see that test once more, but a slightly different way of viewing it on the screen so you get the whole image. So that's what the stabilisation is like when the lens is fully wide and you're walking along. But what about on the far end of the zoom? Well, it's hard to compare them directly because the Panasonic's got a 12 times zoom and the Canon has a 20. So I've tried to match them up by eye, and here is the X920 at its full 12 times. A moment ago you saw stabilisation on. This is obviously stabilisation off, and then I think I toggle it back on again. And it's rock solid. I mean, it really does do a very good job, and that is at 12 times zoom. Here then is the Canon. I've tried to sort of, as I say, match up the amount of zoom, but I'm doing it by eye, so it may be a little off, but obviously very wobbly with the stabilisation off. And then I firstly switch the dynamic stabilisation on. Once again, pretty rock solid. Very good result indeed. And then I toggled it onto its powered mode, which is designed for this kind of telephoto shot, and that's even more stable. It really does a very good job with its powered stabilisation. And then once more back to dynamic, which is just fractionally more moving than with powered. And that again is with stabilisation off on the Canon. That's powered, rock solid. Very good indeed. Quickly back to off, and then we'll just see both of the camcorders again side by side. Here we go, G30 on the left on dynamic, and the Panasonic which is just on or off. Both doing a very good job, I think.